Welcome back. If you're involved in a car crash, it can be hard to know what steps to take after to make sure you're being fairly compensated and taken care of. That's where our sponsors at Cellino Law can step in and help. Welcome, Steve Sioka, attorney at Cellino Law. Thanks for coming in, Steve.
Oh, happy to be here.
Let's start off with talking about some important things people should know if they are involved in a crash.
So a lot of things, the thing is, when you get involved in a crash, you're going to have a lot of emotions. You may be angry, upset, you're going to be confused. So it's really hard to sort of get your bearings. So the first thing I tell people to do is listen. If you can get out of the vehicle, if you're not injured, and you can get out of the vehicle, do the 3 Ps. Make sure you contact the police, make sure that you locate people that may have witnessed it, and make sure you take pictures. Those are super important things to do.
Okay. Is there anything specific people should not do?
Yeah, I mean, we all have heard the old school thing. People get involved in a crash, you get out of the vehicle, you talk to the other driver, and they say, hey, let's just exchange information and we'll both go our own separate ways. That's ordinarily a huge mistake. And the reason for that is that stories change. I mean, the person who seems very reasonable at the scene, takes responsibility, apologizes, all of a sudden, when it comes time to make the claim with the insurance companies, those stories change. And that's where we run into a lot of problems. So you want to get everything documented by the police. So this way you know information about that person. You know their name, their address, license number, and you'll have insurance information as well.
Perfect. Now, should they contact their own insurance company after the crash?
Yes, and that's really, really important. And the reason for that is, even if you're not at fault for causing a crash, your insurance company is going to pay what's called your no-fault benefits. And no fault doesn't mean somebody's not at fault. It just means regardless of who's at fault, your insurance is going to pay your own no-fault benefits. In addition, even though somebody may not claim to be injured at the scene, we always see this. It's when they get home, their adrenaline calms down, they start to calm down. All of a sudden, they start to feel, oh, my neck is starting to bother me, my back is starting to bother me. If you don't contact your insurance company within a reasonable amount of time, that could put you at a big disadvantage, and you don't want that to happen.
Definitely. And what if there is no one at fault?
Well, people ask us all the time, well, I'm not at fault, why is my insurance involved in this at all? And again, that goes back to, you don't know what the other person's going to end up doing. But secondly, these no-fault benefits, which pay things such as any medical bills, your lost wages, any prescription costs, mileage, those type of benefits that you want to make sure that you secure. And there are really strict time frames to do that. So even though you may not be at fault, contacting your insurance company is always a really good idea.
Now, if someone does get hurt, who usually pays a person's medical bill?
Their own insurance.
Okay.
And I know that that seems odd because people say, well, wait a second, my insurance is paying? Is that going to make my insurance rates go up? Unfortunately, it may, but we don't have a choice. You can't put your medical bills through your private health insurance, like whatever health insurance company carries that coverage. It has to go through your car insurance, through what's called your no-fault or your personal injury protection.
Now, if someone loses wages due to the crash resulting in injuries, who also pays for that?
Same thing, your own insurance company. And how that works is it's done on a percentage basis. So if you get injured, your insurance company will pay you 80% of your gross wage. So for every $100 that you earn, your insurance company will pay you $80. The nice thing, no taxes get taken out. So hopefully you will be made whole by having your wages paid. And again, I know people don't like the idea of their own insurance paying it, but that's how the law works in New York.
It's a tough one. Now, why is it important to contact a lawyer after a crash? And what are some of the things you at Cellino Law can do for them?
So contacting an attorney, first of all, it takes a lot of stress off of you. There's a lot of things that you have to do following a crash. Most people aren't involved in crashes, thankfully, so it's nice to be able to talk to somebody that can file things on time, that can answer any questions that you might have, and to sort of put your mind at ease. I tell people it's like you're taking something off of your plate which is really heavy, and you're putting it on my plate. And that's what attorneys do. They sort of hopefully can take the stress off of things and begin whatever process is necessary to protect your rights.
Definitely, Steve. Getting into any sort of accident, whether it's a little fender bender or, God forbid, something worse, is stressful, and there's a lot of emotion. So that's where you guys can help, right?
Absolutely, and we're very happy to help. And the nice thing, when you call, it's done for free. So you can ask questions and you can decide, look, I may not need an attorney right now, but we're more than happy to answer any questions that you might have. And that also takes a load off of people's minds, and that's important.
Steve, thank you so much for coming in and sharing more about what you do. And viewers, if you were involved in a car crash and are looking for legal advice, our sponsors at Cellino Law are here to help. Visit their office inside the Knox Mansion or head over to their website at cellinolaw.com. Thanks again for coming in, Steve.
Thank you.